It's not in my section. He's luckily been promoted out of my section to regional policing. But since Friday, we've been trying to get hold of him. He's been given instructions. His direct supervisor has been given instruction that he must report Monday morning past 10 o'clock at the office. He has failed to do so. So disciplinary steps and consequence management is being introduced again for that as well. So we are trying to get hold of him, but we are starting with consequence management, not us, but the department and his regional divisional head.
Yeah, but it must not look like Tshwane is only doing that because it is now appearing before the commission. I mean, if these things are from 2025, I don't understand why the challenges that are listed here, unable to interview Malachi if he's suspended, I understand that. But unable to interview and obtain a statement from Inspector Piri, that I don't understand. Why could that not be done before this report was finalized?
Commissioner, I cannot answer to that. I know that this report was concluded on the email. It was already sent on the 29th of July. It was done by Internal Affairs. And on the 30th of July, it was sent to the Deputy Chief Dlamini for his office. In that short period between when I gave the instruction for the investigation to the end of that month, that investigation, the investigator, Chowki, is the only one that can really answer why he couldn't get hold of him. I do not know the reason why he couldn't get hold of him. And I also didn't know this report at all until last week, the 10th, to say, but where is that report? Is it with GAR, and what is GAR's outcome from this? And that's when Brigadier Minnaar sent it to me to say, no, it was sent to his Deputy Chief Dlamini, and he thought it was already sent through to GAR close to a year later.
Okay, because now there must be a complex forensic investigation that cost the city a lot of money. I mean, I don't understand that.
There is already a forensic investigation happening.
Commissioner Spies, can we then move to the next tender of the two tenders that we wanted to discuss? And that you deal with it starts at paragraph 54, and that will be the tender 01, 2024-2025. Can you take us through that, please?
At paragraph 54, tender 1 of 2024-25, it relates to the monitoring and prevention of illegal land and building occupation service, as well as the demolition of any illegally erected structures in the city of Tshwane. Informally, between us, we call it the land invasion tender, because it's the prevention of land invasion and the removal of this. It's also obviously a tender that originated from 19 August 2024. And then in paragraph 55, I state the BSC committee, which is the bid specification committee, on 19 August. And I also deduced this from the records because I was not yet appointed. It was also prior to my appointment. And I will get to how I'm involved in this specific tender. Is that the BSC members were Mrs. Kaugelo Thomas, Mrs. Patu Mukeli, Mr. Abel Mosala, Mr. Peter Robinson, and a Lesebi Tupedi, and a Mr. Sipu Slope. And then I listed a timetable that I can read from the records, which is on the advertisement date was 26 August. There was a brief...
perhaps just to pause there in terms of the timetable that he's about to read, the significant relevance to that, the chair would remember that during the testimony of Sergeant Nkosi, there was much debate about when certain documents were submitted from one of the companies. It was Ngapesheya then. So that this timetable becomes relevant because this is a tender that they at least bidded for. Commissioner Spies, apologies, you may proceed with the timetable. Yeah.
The bid was originally advertised on 26 August. There was a briefing session with all bidders on the 12th of September 24, and the bid closing date was then the 2nd of October 2024. The bid expired on the 3rd of January 2025, and this date was later extended to March 25 and again to 30 June 25. That's for the evaluation of the bid itself. And then the bid evaluation committee members were Mr. Victor Gopa, he's the Director for Performance Management, who was the chairperson of the BEC. Nsekang Sekani from Human Settlements Planner. Joe Mabunda, who's the Director, Brigadier in Tshwane Metro Police Department. Sipu Nkomo, who's a Director, Brigadier in Tshwane Metro Police Department. Obed Sandlane, who's the Human Settlements Planner, and Ephraim Selepe, Deputy Director at Buying Supply Chain Management. This tender was also during the process, was selected for probity, and after the probity recommendations were included, it was presented to the Bid Award Committee on 25 September 2025. And this committee then resolved and approved the tender on the 7th of October. The members of this Bid Award Committee on the 7th of October were Mr. Gareth Manisi as the Chief Financial Officer, he was the chairperson. Mr. Koena Nkoko is the Group Head from the Health Department. Mr. Terence Gute is the Director from Demand Management and Supply Chain. Mr. Gerald Chingange is the Group Head from Group Human Capital. Dr. Ndivo Lukwareni is the Group Head from Energy and Electricity. Mrs. Nontu Mamela, who is the Group Head from Human and Housing Settlement. Mr. Musa Kumalu is the Governance and Support Officer. And Mrs. Minki Motsio, who is the Divisional Head at Contract Management Legal. And then, based on this recommendation and approval from this committee, the following 8 companies were approved, and their actual award letters, as it's signed by the chairperson of the BAC and the city manager on the 9th of October, is attached at RS to 16.1 to 16.8, and this tender commenced on the 1st of November 2025. And then the companies mentioned there is El Shaddai Security Services, Gubi's 85 Solution, Ngepashaya Construction Projects, NIST Investments, Red Ant Security Relocation and Eviction Services, 2 Cops in Security Services, Wimsayer Security and Protection Services, and X&G Security Services. And then this becomes why my involvement in this. I was appointed as the Acting Chief of Police for the period 22 December 25 to 14 January 26, because Commissioner Faru was on her annual leave. And then when she returned, she was ill, and it was extended then to the 16th of January. My acting letter as Chief of Police is attached as RS 217. And then on Thursday, the 15th of January, I signed the service level agreement between the land invasion tender companies and the city. So the service level agreement, after the award letters is issued, the award letters together with the BAC report goes to the legal department, who then create and draft the SLA. They verify that it's correct. They forward it then to the department to sign off as owner department, the SLA, and that's the Chief of Police function. So because I'm the Acting Chief of Police, I sign the SLAs together with witnesses on behalf of the city, and then the day thereafter, the companies themselves will then sign the SLA on behalf of the companies.
Is it 1 or 8? How does it work? Is it 1 SLA or 8 SLAs?
It's 8, 100% the same SLAs except the name of the company and the signatories at the bottom, the address details. But the SLA, from where it starts with the wording of the SLA to where it ends with the wording, is 100% the same SLA for all companies.
And Chair, for the record, we need not go there, but for the record, those would appear on page 348 to 381 of file 2 of 4.
Thank you, Mr. Musugi.
Thank you. You can continue, Commissioner Spies.
And then paragraph 60 is my involvement in this tender was the signing of the SLAs as the Acting Chief of Police. This tender is ongoing. As I stated, it commenced 1 November, and the total amount paid to these companies as of the end of January, because payments is always reflecting 30 days later, is a total of 10,733,802 rand and 72 cents for the services provided from the 1st of November 25 to the end of January 2026. And then I state further is that I obviously am aware of evidence before the Commission that suggested Mr. Manisi And I state here General Dlamini, but to me is Deputy Commissioner Dlamini, and Sergeant Nkosi conspired to secure the appointment of Ngipashaya Construction and Projects as one of the successful bidders on this tender, despite the fact that the Ngipashaya bid was non-compliant. The city has thus far paid Ngipashaya a total amount of R2,028,154.32, ostensibly for services provided to the city in terms of this tender, TMPD 1/24/25. And then I also attach a spreadsheet of these payments as RS219.
So a company doesn't meet the requirements and still gets approved? That's not a mistake. That's intentional. Someone had to see those red flags, ignore them, and push this through anyway. And when that happens, it's no longer about process. It's about power. So now the question is, who's behind it?
And then these statements and the confirmatory statement that I've seen from Mr. Veli and Wandule, who's from our finance section, he assisted me in understanding the accounting aspects of how these payments are being affected, because it's not, this tender is not under my control, it's with our division, regional and specialized policing services that manage the land invasion and anti-land invasion and eviction and removal of shacks and things like that.
Okay, can I just ask, in paragraph 62, where you say the city has thus far paid Ngapeshea, is that as at end of January or as at the date of your statement?
Is at the end of January.
Maybe before you do that, that transcript, you say it is a small part of Sergeant Nkosi's evidence where it relates to you and Ngapeshea. Okay, I just want to be sure. It also includes the discussion on goobies.
That's correct,
So
Commissioner.
you've seen
It's
that.
a portion about where my name is mentioned to say something about he's the one that stops the services, and then it mentioned goobies, it mentioned Ngibashaya, and it speaks about Mfetu,
Yes.
and that it's that portion of his testimony that was
Thank
provided
you.
to me to read through.
Thank you.
Commissioner Baloi, just for the record, that specific portion of the transcript is referred to, just for the marking, at page 998. This is file 44, page 998 to 1033, so it's a bit more than 30 pages or so, dealing with those allegations. Thank you. Commissioner Spies, I think I had invited you to make your closing remarks in line with your conclusion at paragraph 65.
Commissioners, there's one part in my statement that I will read, but there's also another part that I want to add, is that I obviously submit this statement to highlight the institutional failures or the subversion of lawful authority that I experienced during my limited time at Tshwane Metro Police. My actions taken in my official capacity as acting chief and at this times as instructed by the chief were aimed at upholding the integrity of the department and addressing serious allegations of misconduct. But then I also further have to state that, and it's with genuine respect towards the commission, is that I testified as a whistleblower at the commission, and the victimization of whistleblowers, even in my new career, the way I'm being, and I don't want to put it openly as abuse, but it's the way I'm being addressed. My nickname is, for instance, they will make jokes about it to say Madlanga Commission when I enter into a conversation or when I sit in a meeting. There's people that say that my presence threatened them and I'm taking notes and I will use it against future commissions, and that is that I would really ask the commission if we can really look at something eventually in recommendations which look at how do we protect whistleblowers? How do we make it as easy as possible for genuine people who wants to upkeep the law, who wants to be honest? How can we protect them from coming out and divulge it? There's a lot of honest people that is too afraid to speak. And the few of us that do speak about it, we are properly victimized, and there's there's genuinely something that need to be done to protect whistleblowers. It's my final just remarks, if I implore if that can be looked at, how do we protect people who wants to genuinely be honest and speak about this and get this scrounge out of the law enforcement completely?
That will be the evidence of Commissioner Spies, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much again, Deputy Commissioner Spies. You are excused. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.